What's going on, guys? It's Jamie, aka the FUD Economist, coming at you guys today with a new video. Today we're going to be talking about something that is a little bit different for my channel, and that is packs. FIFA 18 packs, obviously a hot topic in the community right now. A lot of people sort of complaining about the pack weight. That's sort of what got me thinking about this video. And three things I want to cover today are what packs are the best return on your investment. So in terms of investing FIFA points, what is on average going to be the best return, and that's that spreadsheet that you see in the background right there. How even if they have to be, the second topic is even if they have to be sort of like conspiracy theories, what are some ways that you could maybe improve your pack luck? And then three is is there some legislation or changes to terms and services that's eventually going to lead to us either knowing what the pack weights are in FIFA 18 or having it so that packs and random loot boxes in general are actually going to be taken out of video games really in total. So some interesting stuff. I get to talk about this video. The first thing I guess I want to cover is the thing that got me prompted on doing this video is people talking about pack weight. Just as an anecdotal example, Castro, popular streamer, a lot of you guys probably know who he is, opened up 400,000 FIFA points worth of packs before he packed his first Team of the Year item, which was Team of the Year Dani Alves. That's $3,000 worth of packs, and in those $3,000, his second most expensive player was Aguero. That, to me, is not a great return on investment. Another example, Golden Bear, popular Twitter trader, opened up 10 million coins worth of saved packs, and his best player in those 10 million coins worth was an informed son. So, just as a general sort of anecdotal overview, bird's eye view, pack weight doesn't look great. That being said, what are some ways, or what are some of the packs that we can look at that might give you a better return on investment? Now, what I basically did to do that is I went through every single pack in FIFA 18, and then I also tracked back to FIFA 17 as well, just in case they offer some of these FIFA 17 packs later in the FIFA 18 title. And I've gone through, looked at all of the pack contents, and then I've sort of just put it out in the spreadsheet, which you can see behind us right here. So this is a Google Doc. I will share this Google Doc on my Twitter at FUT_economist. If you guys don't already follow me on there, I'll post a link to that on my Twitter. You guys can go check this out. But essentially what I've done here is, as you can see, for example, with the bronze pack here, the coin value, that's how much it's going to cost you to buy the pack. It's 400 coins. FIFA points, obviously you can't buy bronze packs with FIFA points, so there's just a dash there. Does it have players? Yes. Does it have consumables? Yes. Does it have items? Yes. And then I've sort of laid out the total. So there's 12 items in total, 0 golds, 2 silvers, 10 bronze, 1 rare. And then here's what I've done. So you can see these assumptions, which are these black boxes on the right here. For each of the 3 types of items in FUT, right? There's player items, consumables, and just regular items. Player items are broken down by rare gold, non-rare, rare silver, non-rare silver. You get the idea. And then what I've done is I've taken the average discard value of, for example, rare golds, and then I've set that at 660 coins, and then I've said that the average selling price of a rare gold card that you get in a pack is probably just around 800 coins. Now, that's where we're probably going to have some differences, as you as a viewer might think that the average selling price of a rare gold card could be a little bit higher or a little bit lower than 800 coins, but I've just sort of set it at 800 coins, and I guess I don't want to waste your guys' time giving you justifications for why I've set the prices of the average selling prices at each of these. But essentially what I've done is I've gone through FUTBin and FUTHead, taken the averages of a bunch of hundreds of cards that I've done on an Excel sheet, and then essentially I've come up with this number. I've excluded a bunch of outliers at the super top end. I'm just assuming that your luck is not going to be that good. I know my luck certainly isn't that good, and that's these are the prices that I've come up with. So anyway, as we go back to the spreadsheet here, the discard value of a bronze pack, for example, is about 120 coins, right? So if you open up a bronze pack, on average, you're going to be able to discard just everything in that pack for about 120 coins. The average price of that bronze pack, or selling price rather, is about 450 coins. So We'll talk about that another day, but on average, you're actually going to make 50 coins back every time you open up a bronze pack, which leads us to our average price to coin ratio of about 1.13, right? So you're going to be making about 13% more, a profit of about 13% every time you open up a bronze pack. Obviously, we don't have a ratio for the average price to FIFA points, but if you go down to something like the silver pack, which you can purchase with 50 FIFA points, then we have a ratio of about 24 coins for every FIFA point spent on a silver pack. So I don't know if you guys can hear that, but some of my apartment mates are screaming at the top of their lungs. I don't know why. If I find out, I'll update you. Anyway, so basically what I've done is I've just compiled this list here. Again, I'll share this on my Twitter. Some of the packs I want to sort of highlight to you guys. If you're looking to open up with FIFA points, the best possible packs that you can open, are just in terms of just this is just, again, assuming that you don't have any luck and you just packed very, very average players and everything, is the gold upgrade pack. I'm going to highlight it right here. This was a pack that EA had back in FIFA 17 at the start of the game. You could actually open up this gold upgrade pack. It was very, very advisable to open them up with FIFA points because the coin ratio, if you opened up with coins, was awful compared to some of the other packs, and then the same thing with a silver upgrade pack. But if you opened up with coins, or with FIFA points rather, you actually had a really, really good return on investment. The third best, if you will, and this is probably the first best in terms of FIFA point ratio, was actually a jumbo premium gold pack. Believe it or not, I don't know what is with the weighting of them, but they actually drop a lot. Excuse me. They actually dropped quite a few players in this pack, and the ratio of players to consumables is actually pretty strong for this pack. So if you do see those on the market, that's actually a decent return. Some other good ones of note are the Prime Electrum Players Pack. These are usually SBC rewards, but if they ever drop them, they're actually not bad value. And the sort of top end sort of range of them is not bad at all, because you are getting usually 2 rare gold players. So and I've also heard people say that they're pretty solid. Some other interesting ones, the jumbo silver packs are just generally you can say that silver packs and bronze packs are pretty good value as well. I guess as we'll talk about some of the worst ones possible, and you guys aren't going to be surprised by the results of this, but the rare gold pack is absolutely horrendous, really, really bad. It's the worst that you can have in terms of coins spent to return ratio, and it's the worst that you can have in terms of FIFA points spent to coin return ratio. And then obviously some of the other ones are the Ultimate Gold Pack and then the Jumbo Rare Players Pack. Again, are not great just because, well, I mean, the average selling price of the players that you're going to get in those packs are really not that fantastic. So again, I'll leave this somewhere that you got. I'll leave it on my Twitter rather. So if you guys want to go get the link to that, I'll have a clickable Google Docs link that'll take you to this, and you can look at this. And something that's helpful to use with this is that you can actually calculate the average return that you're going to get from SBC rewards using the pack values from this spreadsheet. So that's something that can be really helpful. Another thing I do want to point out, so if we assume that you're going to open up 12,000 FIFA points worth of packs and you were going to spend those all on 100k packs, right? So that means you're opening up 6 100k packs at 2,000 FIFA points a pop. And let's assume that you're in the United States, so you're spending the equivalent of $100 on these FIFA points. You are on average going to get back about 115k worth of coins, right? Because of the ratio is every FIFA point that you spend, you get 9.6 coins back. So that's something you can kind of keep just generally in mind, is every time you spend $100, you're getting 1,000 or 115k back on average, right? So I mean, obviously if you get something amazing, your top end is going to be way higher than that, but again, on average, not super fantastic. Okay, so that's that covered. Another thing I want to talk about, and I guess this is where we're gonna have to strap on our tinfoil hats, but there are some conspiracy theories out there that would suggest that there are ways that you can improve your pack luck. And again, I don't necessarily subscribe to these theories, but they are out there. The one that I will say that I kind of do believe in, and it's just purely based off of anecdotal evidence, is the don't open up packs when everyone else is opening up packs theory. So essentially the way it works, right, is EA want to balance the market, right? Or I shouldn't say the way it works, but rather the theory behind it, right? EA want to balance the market. If they were to have the same pack weight odds, all the time. Times like the Team of the Year, when they have lightning rounds and stuff like that, would cause like catastrophic like dips in the market, because people will open up such a disproportionately high number of packs during those times that if everyone took the cards that they packed from those packs and then listed them up, some of the high value cards would dip really low, like really quickly. So the theory is that EA sort of have a gate on the sort of the pack weight that high level cards have during periods where people are opening up a ton of packs. So for example, if we were to say like Ronaldo, during like a super high pack opening time, the Ronaldos are much less likely to be packed in each individual pack than they were to be in just like a random Tuesday in the middle of March or something like that. And sort of the way that I was explained this theory was that EA limit the number of, for example, Ronaldos that come onto the market through packs to like a set time period, right? So there can only be, pick an arbitrary number, 15 Ronaldos in packs in the space of an hour, right? That could be way higher, way lower, I have no idea, but that's like sort of the theory and the reasoning behind that. So if you were to take that theory and take it to heart, and frankly I kind of believe in it, then you would be best served to open up your packs when other people aren't opening up the packs. So like in the middle of the night when everyone's sleeping, or when there aren't any lightning rounds going, maybe you just have saved up packs held onto. And honestly, if we look back at some of the anecdotal evidence, a lot of that kind of makes sense, right? Like some of it would lead you to believe, just based on the anecdotal evidence, that kind of is true. For example, everyone was opening up packs the first day of Team of the Year when it came out. No one, I literally, I mean, I'm on Twitter a lot. I literally didn't see anyone who I knew open up a lot of FIFA points pack a Team of the Year striker. It was incredibly rare to see anyone with that on their timeline. And then if you waited until, for example, today when I'm recording this video on Sunday, which is the second to last day of Team of the Year, I see like a tremendous amount of people compared to what they've been in like the basically the rest of this week packing these Team of the Year items. So that's sort of anecdotal evidence for that. The second conspiracy theory is having a bad record. So this is one where it sort of all ties back to this paper that EA published about like user engagement. Essentially, EA published this thing where they were talking about, I'll just give you the SparkNotes summary of it. They've designed their games to encourage player engagement by giving them sort of like rewards and like basically dangling a carrot in front of them whenever they realize that the player is getting frustrated. So certain behaviors that to EA demonstrate that a player is being frustrated is, one, having a bad record. Losing games is something that gets the players frustrated and they're more likely to stop playing the game. Another one that would demonstrate to EA that a player is frustrated is if they haven't played the game for a while. And they just come back and play the game for the first time in a month, for example. And when that happens, EA's response to that and their solution in order to try and get people to play their game more is to give them, in theory, better packs, right? So anecdotal evidence for that is oftentimes when someone will open up a pack and they'll get like a Team of the Year item and they'll see you see it put on Twitter, their record, I want to say like 75% of the time is like pretty bad, like compared to like some of the higher level players that you'll see. So that's another theory, is you could basically, I guess you could like get a bunch of losses on your account, or you could get like a fresh account. Another theory is that they encourage new players to stick around by having, or by giving them like decent packs to start out with. All these, there's a bunch of sort of conspiracy theories around that, but or you could also make, if you're going on vacation, for example, and you come back, maybe the first day that you come back, you might want to open up packs during when you first log on to FIFA. Maybe not play a couple of games, but just open up a couple of packs, and maybe your pack luck will be better. Who knows? And then, so the third thing I want to talk about in this video is some of the changes that could be coming to the gaming industry that would mean that we are going to get a better understanding of pack weight, and or it could completely take away loot box sort of, random generated loot box things and things like FIFA packs. So the first is there is movement in from a senator in Hawaii who's been talking about pushing for legislation that would outlaw like random loot boxes, or in this case FIFA packs in games in like basically in all, like, right? So like every game in the United States that has those random loot box things would be classified as gambling, which would mean it's illegal for minors. Which would mean that, like, a game like FIFA, if they wanted to keep packs in the game, it would have to be classified as like a rated R game, or rated, well, not rated R, but rated mature for the rating system that we use here, which would be like awful for EA, because they would sell significantly less number of copies of their games. Another thing that I think could happen, or is happening rather, is Apple has just recently updated their terms and services, which now states that any game that has a random loot box generation system on it has to make publicly available the drop rates of those items in the packs. So for example, if you for our friends on FIFA Mobile, there would have to be some sort of explicit explanation of how likely it is to pack a rare gold item, or a silver item, or bronze, so like they would have to sort of lay it out for us, apparently. We haven't seen anything, even though that terms and service update has happened already. I think if FIFA Mobile wants to do another update to their game, that's when they would have to put the pack values in it. But that could be something that would be really interesting, and maybe even carry over to the console version, if we could sort of, obviously I would imagine that the pack weights are significantly different, but that could give us a general idea. Another thing that's happened is that Belgium has recently classified all video games that have loot box generated things in them as gambling, which is similar to what the Hawaiian representative is trying to do in the United States. And essentially what that means is, barring some court cases that are likely, unfortunately going to be ruled in favor of the video game companies, as I said before, video games with those loot boxes would be illegal in Belgium. Now, I don't think any of that, the Hawaii state representative and the Belgian push, I don't think that's going to materialize to anything, unfortunately. And the reason I think that is because it's very, very difficult to classify loot box openings, if you will, in video games as gambling. And the reason for that is the official, by law, the definition of gambling is that you have to have some sort of exchange for value in exchange for something else of value, right? And there has to be chance as sort of like the intermediary between those two things. Now, unfortunately, the way that the video game companies have been sort of skirting around this and managing not to classify this as gambling is because technically the thing that you're getting in return can't be called something with value, right? So if you get a Ronaldo card, that you technically can't trade that into anything. It's a property that is completely and wholly owned by Electronic Arts. It does not have any monetary value, even though maybe you could like sell it to your friend. It's not like an official monetary value. So that's how they've sort of been getting away with charging, or without. That's been how they've been getting away with not calling it gambling. So and frankly, I don't see that changing in the near-term future. So, I mean, that's sort of all I've had for today's video, boys. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. If this, what packs have you found that are helpful to you or give you the best turnout? I know a lot of you guys talk about some of these SBC packs, like the 81 pluses, for example, are the ones that really, really give out great rewards. I would love to hear, what some of your success or maybe not success stories in Team of the Year and opening up packs and stuff like that down in the comments below. And as always, if you found this video helpful, or if you found the content helpful, I would appreciate a like rating. If not, go ahead and dislike it, and then if you could, let me know why, so I can maybe improve for next time. But anyway, boys, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I applaud you. I rambled a little bit in this video, but anyway, I'll see you guys later for another video.